Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. Like that? Yeah.
What if we, as Dungeon Masters, could make every scene feel cinematic, every NPC unforgettable, and every player feel genuinely heroic? That's exactly what Matt Mercer, the DM for Critical Role, achieves week after week. For the last decade, he's guided the Critical Role cast through epic battles, heart-wrenching drama, and laughter-filled street fairs. This video breaks down 5 lessons for DMs from Matt Mercer's DM style. In each section, we'll unpack how you can use the same techniques in your own campaigns. We'll cover everything from cinematic description and clever NPC portrayal to player agency and the art of adaptability. To be clear, these lessons are not about mimicking Matt and more about taking inspiration and adapting it to your own table and your own style. Whether you're a brand new DM or looking to elevate your game, let's take a look together at what we can learn from Matt and his style. Hi everyone, it's Chaley, and Matt Mercer is a master at turning unplanned moments into campaign gold. Take, for example, the City of Brass arc in Campaign 1. That trip to the elemental plane of fire was never part of his original outline, at least not at that time. When the players took an unexpected trip into the City of Brass, Matt didn't reset the session or rail them back on track. Instead, he leaned in, bringing life to an entirely new setting on the fly. Imagine just dropping into a scorching fire city with no prepared script and crafting memorable NPCs like Senekir, the mysterious fiery jeweler, and Uten, his business partner, both appearing completely improvised, yet instantly felt as though they were part of the world. These characters weren't bullet point notes, they were living, breathing moments made possible by Matt's nimble attention to player cues. He doesn't simply wing it. Instead, he starts with a flexible narrative frame. Major story beats in mind, but plenty of space around them. When the party veered off the beaten track, Matt trusted their instincts and wove those unexpected choices into the core storyline. Rather than viewing detours as distractions, he treated them as opportunities to deepen the world, resulting in dynamic storytelling. Not chaos, but collaboration. By welcoming surprises and making them central, Matt invites players to shape the story as much as he does. Their creativity isn't just allowed, it becomes a catalyst for narrative richness. That's why moments like the City of Brass aren't just memorable, they're the result of a DM trusting the players to guide the way and ready to turn their surprises into shared story magic. To bring that to your table, start by preparing the bones of a story, not a railroad. Keep a handful of NPC motivations handy, and be ready to plant your own improvisation flags when player energy is high. When they wander off script, ask yourself, what if, and build the world around their choices, not despite them.
As you step out into the temperate air, you're struck by the vibrant purples, blues, and pinks of sunset that envelop the skies and clouds above the tree line. The smell of fresh morning dew and poppy upon the breeze fills your head, and your feet wade through tall, thick grasses that tickle your knees with each step. Vine-covered tree trunks rise all around you, curling as they stretch upward like a bending dreamscape, and hundreds of small, bobbing fairy lights glow in the shadowed distance of the forest. Looking about you, you can see what appear to be clusters of mud and small pools of water that are scattered in your vicinity, some 10, 15, even 30 feet apart. Just small little pools that dot the landscape, almost like pebbles scattered across a small field.
Matt Mercer has a knack for transforming even a brief scene into something cinematic and memorable with just a few well-chosen details. Take a simple forge. Instead of saying you enter a blacksmith's workshop, he might describe how the furnace's glow smudges dark soot on the stone floor, the sharp hiss of molten metal meeting water, and the rhythmic clang of the hammer on the anvil echoing in the rafters. These sensory cues, heat, sound, and scent, anchor players in a moment that feels vivid and alive. The most common advice I see for describing a scene is to try to be evocative and descriptive but brief. Pick 3 things for players to latch onto, bonus points if a different sense can be used to describe each of the 3. That's the sweet spot. Short, rich and evocative. When done right, players don't just see the scene, they feel it. The warmth of the forge, the smell of the iron, they all add context and stakes without bogging down the pace. All of a sudden, a cavern isn't just a place to explore, it becomes oppressive. A tavern isn't just a backdrop, it becomes alive with whispered rumours and setting sun rays that signal that it's either time to move or stay the night. So let your brief descriptions carry some of that emotional weight. A glint of fear in an NPC's eye, a sudden hush in the crowd, the creak of a tavern's beam under unseen weight. These touches let the players feel the world without slowing things down. When you sprinkle sensory and emotional beats into a scene, even off the cuff, it elevates the ordinary. That's how a hallway becomes memorable, a marketplace becomes immersive, and your players remember every choice long after the dice stop rolling.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, man!
Nothing captures the magic of a climactic encounter better than that moment when Matt Mercer leans forward and asks, "How do you want to do this?" It isn't just a signature phrase, it's a powerful handoff to the player at their crowning moment, letting them own the narrative as their enemy falters. Think about the final blow. Instead of describing how a demon collapses or a dragon crashes, Matt pauses. He looks at the player and says, "This is your moment. Tell us how it ends." Maybe the sword pierces the armor with a thunderous clang, or perhaps the hero whispers forgiveness before the strike lands. That invitation sparks creativity and ownership immediately. The room grows still, all ears tuned to the player's voice. The emotional shift here is profound. This isn't a DM-led victory recap, it transforms mechanical success into personal storytelling. The player realizes that this is my story, and when they speak, whether it's just a line or a short description, they're not simply narrating the damage, they're adding something tangible to the game. After that final hit has reduced the monster to 0 hit points, stop yourself before narrating how the enemy falls. Instead, simply turn to the player who dealt the killing blow and say, "How do you want to do this?" Open the door, breathe, and let the player step through. By doing this, you reward more than just gameplay, you celebrate shared storytelling. You give players agency and the space to shine. And when they take that opportunity, the whole group leans in because they're not just watching a scene unfold, they're witnessing their friend shaping the tale. Even a brief 30-second flourish becomes legendary when it's their moment. So the next time a villain falls, hand them the spotlight, invite their voice, let them craft the moment. That's the essence of those 7 words, and it's what turns a kill into an unforgettable scene.
So as you come down, whack, slam it right into, you hear this almost wolf-like screeching howl as Kern's head lifts up in severe pain. His hands come down and grasp your wrist and is now holding it, trying to pull it away from his midsection. He's in a very bad situation right now.
Rolling dice isn't just mechanical. It's storytelling fuel. Matt Mercer knows that numbers alone won't keep players hooked. Instead, he spins every roll into a vivid scene that draws tension, emotion, and drama into the moment. Picture this. A fighter lunges at a rampaging ogre. Instead of just saying you deal 18 damage, Matt might describe how a blade sinks deeply into the flesh, eliciting a guttural roar and a stagger. That simple shift changes the moment. moment, players don't just hear numbers, they see the consequences of their actions. Matt also uses roll outcomes to shape pacing. A high roll can become a slow motion crescendo, the sound of armor scraping, a staggered breath, and the foe's eyes widening in shock. A low roll, he leans into the suspense. Your axe finds only air, sounds echo in the cavern as you overextend. Suddenly, even failures enrich the drama. You don't need to plaster every dice roll with epic flair. Pick the beats that matter. A critical hit deserves grit, sound, blood, or a sudden silence. A miss can create tension or drama, not just restart the turn. After a roll, narrate the action and its effect. You slam your shield into the orc's side. He grunts and staggers, his boots scraping the stone. If they miss, you might say your rapier glances off the golem's armor, dust begins to kick up, and the creature looms towards you. Use sensory cues like sound, smell, and motion, plus emotional weight. A hero's desperation and NPC's fear to ground the scene. In practice, you're not replacing combat, you are enhancing it. Rolls become scenes, tension builds, and every swing feels earned. Combat becomes immersive and memorable when every dice slip or critical hit becomes a story moment. And that is how Matt turns rolling into storytelling magic.
Cast silence.
Silence.
He's gonna go ahead and counterspell.
He can't, he's far too far away.
With Spell Sniper, it doubles the range.
This isn't
So
Not
wait,
with,
before you...
not with, it's gotta be an attack spell. Not with,
Let me see.
not with counterspell. I
Because
don't
you
think
have
so.
spell sniper, don't you?
I do,
I do not
unless
think
the
it's an attack
base,
spell.
because my counterspell, I also have spell sniper, is 60 feet.
But he's also Ludinous.
But he's also luminous.
Let me see here.
Which means he may have a feat that already doubles his. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, 'cause
Shit,
that's
fuck
spell
balls.
sniper.
I mean,
But even double.
teleport is
What?
not an attack spell, and we all know
Oh my god, we're getting out the book.
Yeah, but look what a pretty book it is. This is the pretty one.
You scaling counterspell teleport. That's not an attack spell.
No. But
sure.
counterspell isn't an attack spell.
So it
I
doesn't
think
have
the
same
spell
benefit.
sniper...
Only
Oh,
works.
it's from the sniping. Oh, yeah.
Because spell sniper,
You wanted to ask for it. Just ask for it, Sam.
also whatever, man, it's luminous, so
Right,
whatever.
I know, but I just want to clarify.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that's
crunchy
fair.
rules.
I thought it was
Wow.
come up and from the
otherwise-
end of
When you-
campaign one when Scanlan.
When you cast a spell that requires you to make an attack roll, the spell's range is doubled. Your ranged spell attacks ignore half cover and three covers quarter.
require.
Oh, yeah.
3/4 cover. Fuck me.
Wow.
Oh boy, the book and the phone.
Yeah.
That's some Nick.
I didn't mean to throw us
talk
off.
right there.
No, it's good. I
Okay.
I'm using my action to cast.
Yeah.
Here's your inspiration, by the way.
Okay.
Is he gonna allow it? Is he gonna allow it?
I'm
Did I
making-
just piss off the DM?
No.
Should I
you
just
made-
let this go?
No, I'll make an adjustment. No, it's good.
He's gonna kill us fast.
The DM. Your husband.
So silence goes on.
Yeah, no.
Something else goes off?
No, he said
Silence
silence
goes
goes up.
Matt Mercer doesn't just run the story, he builds an environment where the story can breathe. The trust his players show at the table isn't accidental, it's earned through consistent openness, humility, and respect. Over time, he's created a space where folks feel safe to question rulings, explore emotional beats, and take narrative risks, knowing that Matt has their back. Throughout each campaign, Matt reinforces this trust. He treats rules checks not as disruptions, but as collaborative opportunities. If a player questions a ruling, he'll pause, listen, and if necessary, adjust on the fly. That openness signals to the players that their experience matters. When errors happen, he owns them, showing that it's okay to be wrong, both for him and the players. That atmosphere of respect allows players to jump into risky choices, genre-bending, emotionally raw moments, because they know the table is solid. To build that with your group, you could try bringing in a brief session 0 to set tone and boundaries, normalize rule check conversations that treat mistakes as teachable, and after intense scenes, check in with a simple "how is everyone doing?" These moves tell your players that you care about them as people, not just as characters. When players sense that trust, they don't hold back. The table becomes a creative partnership. Risky scenes feel safe, emotional beats feel supported, and everyone feels like a co-author in the story. That's the real magic of Matt's DM style. More than plot or dice, it's a foundation of trust that turns a game into a shared journey. At the heart of every great story is a moment that connects us. With these 5 lessons, we've seen how Matt Mercer crafts those moments in real time. Matt doesn't just run a game, he invites us into a living, breathing story. When he leans into improvisation, we feel the world expand. When he adds that sensory detail, a bland room becomes a stage for a drama. When he pauses and empowers players with agency, whether through a moment, a voice, or a flourish, the whole table leans in with them. And when he treats trust not as a given, but as something to be nurtured through openness, curiosity, and respect, that's when players truly blossom. Because at the end of the day, the strongest tables aren't built on strict rules or elaborate plots. They're built on shared trust and vulnerability. They're about saying, "I care what you do next." Whether you're a new DM or a seasoned hand, these lessons don't demand imitation. They ask invitation. Invite presence, invite surprise, invite ownership, invite trust. So now I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these lessons will you bring to your next session? If this video resonated with you, please join the Discord, link in the description below. And whilst you're down there, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more deep dives like this. I am genuinely so grateful to have you here. And until next time, trust your players and craft with care.
Love you all so much.
We'll cover everything from Tabitha